A government-appointed scientific committee today said the COVID-19 pandemic in India has crossed its peak, but protective measures must continue. The total number of infections by the time the pandemic is controlled in February 2021 will be about 10.5 million cases. That's 105 lakh cases in India. Currently, India's total infections are at about 75 lakh. In the absence of a lockdown in March, India's total deaths could have exceeded 25 lakh by August. Currently, India's total deaths are at 1.14 lakh. The committee was appointed to come out with an Indian national supermodel, a mathematical model for COVID-19 that can shed light on the likely trajectory of the pandemic in India. The committee had members from IITs and branches of the Indian Council of Medical Research. Well, joining us now for their views on this new survey, Dr. Anita Ramesh, Senior Medical Oncologist at Apollo Specialty Hospitals, and Dr. Romel Tikku, Associate Director of Internal Medicine at Max. I'd like to thank you very much for being with us. Dr. Anita Ramesh, firstly, one of the startling details which have emerged is that approximately 30-odd% of India's population, according to this report, has developed immunity. Now, that's an incredibly large number of people who have, considering that we're a billion-plus nation. Do you accept that at face value?
Yes, thank you. It's a very good question regarding the development of immunity. But it's a good thing that 30% has developed immunity. But we do not know how much or how long lasting is this immunity going to be. Is this immunity or the antibody produced in the body of these people are going to give them long lasting protection from a second infection of COVID? That is not known. Because we have seen in several parts of the world, people got reinfected. So yes, it's a good thing antibody is developed, but we have to wait for further observation and studies to tell us how protective is this antibody to prevent a second infection.
Dr. Tikku, the worry is the festive season. We're on the festive season already. And, you know, social distancing, people don't seem to be caring very much about that. The fact that you're going to have people milling around. Is this perhaps the next big hurdle towards actually getting around, COVID and the situation in the country?
Vishnu, exactly. I think this is a big hurdle with the festive season going on and Dussehra and Diwali round the corner. People might get complacent. You don't have to go to these pandals and celebrate outside. You can always celebrate from the comforts of your home with your family. I think that's what we should be looking at. We can always celebrate next year because, see, we've been doing well for the last 1 week. We've had less than 70,000 odd cases each day for the last 7 days. And in fact, US for the last 2 days has more cases than India. Even the number of deaths have gone down. So over the next few months, hopefully, we'll do much better. But yes, this is the festive season. Agreed, we have to celebrate, but we have to be very careful. We don't have to get complacent. And with the pollution levels spiking in Delhi and the winter setting in, especially in North India, one has to be extremely, extremely careful. And we have to keep doing what we are doing, which is wearing a mask, maintaining social distance, washing hands. And the government is doing its job. They're creating more and more facilities for us, ICU beds. We might need them at some point. Right now, we have enough of them. But yes, you're right. Festive season, we have to be extremely careful because there might be a second wave coming in. And we still have lots of cases in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala, and even for that matter in Bengal, and Delhi also has 3,000 odd cases every day. So let's be very careful.
Dr. Ramesh, the report says that the total number of infections by the time the pandemic is controlled would be about 10.5 million cases in February 2021. The number is still colossal, it's still huge. But what happens after February 2021? The reason I'm asking this is because there's no guarantee that a large majority of Indians will get inoculated with the vaccine. Even if the vaccine comes, it's going to take a large period of time. So when we're talking about the pandemic being controlled, realistically, what are we talking about?
Yes, see, now we have to learn to live with the virus. There is no guarantee that this pandemic is going to be over by February 2021. Even if the vaccine comes. But this pandemic continues. It's how we control. We do not know whether a second wave is coming or not, might come. The numbers may increase, the numbers may decrease. We do not have any guarantee. Yes, we are hopeful that the vaccine will be around the early next year, but then we need to produce that huge amount of the vaccine to meet the entire population in India. Not only the population starting from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, it has to reach to every people. We need to see who are the high risks, particularly healthcare workers, elderly, comorbidities, and immunocompromised. They need to be. How do we deliver the vaccine, the cold chain? So lots is there. We need to gear up from now, but we should be always optimistic. Yes, we'll stand out and fight this virus.
Right.
And one more important point I want to take, there's lots of post-COVID sequelae. Now we see a lot of patients coming with breathing difficulty. There is no COVID, they are cured, but there's fibrosis in the lung, lot of mental issues, lot of people with cardiovascular problems. So that also should be anticipated in early next year, how the healthcare system is to gear up to control the after effects of COVID.
That's such an important point. Dr. Tikku, is that what you are seeing as a medical practitioner yourself, that you're coming across people who may no longer be COVID positive now, but the after effects, and medical science, we know so little about what can eventually happen. We just see these things emerging. Are you seeing this among your patients as well?
Yes, we are. Initially, we thought there are no lasting effects, but now, yes, post-COVID syndrome, where you get headaches, body aches, joint pains, brain fogging, and then you have persistent dry cough, and now we know it affects every system apart from the lungs. As the doctor rightly said, you can have fibrosis for which you might sometimes need even oxygen at home post-discharge also. And then you have GV syndrome, and there are neurological complications, and then it can affect your kidneys, heart. People have had cardiac events, especially post-COVID. If they're exercising, if they're doing treadmill, working out, they've had cardiac events. There can be clots, pulmonary embolism. So I would say for the next 2 to 3 months post you had COVID, you have to be extremely careful. Don't do any strenuous activity. Be in touch with your doctors. Take it easy for the time being, because your body is vulnerable. And if you have a second event, a cardiac event or whatever, pulmonary embolism, that you are in trouble, you need another hospitalization, it can be life-threatening. So post-COVID, we really need to be extremely careful, because we're learning something each day. This disease is teaching us new things every day. So be in touch with your doctors. They know what is good for you. They'll advise you accordingly. So don't get complacent. And as the doctor again rightly said, that we are seeing now second cases also, people who've had, though they are very minimal, and it's a rare thing to have second COVID infection. But yes, we've been seeing all over the world. So don't get complacent. Don't think that you've had it, so you won't get it again. So let's take it easy. Let's go out, not wear a mask. You have to be extremely careful. You will be fine, but you might give it to someone else who might have complications or might be in trouble.
So, Dr. Ramesh, my final question to you, and we like to repeat this question because, we're trying to do this in public interest. If a person has a headache, if a person has a cough, it could be anything. It doesn't need to be COVID. So, at what stage do people need to think seriously about getting a test done?
Yes, it's a very important question for the common people. See, if it was last year and you had headache and cough, yes, symptomatic management, we wouldn't have told you go to the doctor immediately. But now, when we know that the corona pandemic is running, it is better to go too early. You may not have COVID, but if you reach the hospital and we do a COVID test, because headache and fever is an early symptom of COVID. If you are positive, we can help you out. Mild, asymptomatic, very high chance of cure. It's almost in 90% chance. But you should not miss that early stage. So if I am in your place, I would have done a COVID test within 24 hours if I'm having headache and fever during the pandemic time.
So and Dr. Tikku, so to you, so when somebody calls you up and says that they're not feeling well, but they don't necessarily have a fever, they have a headache, let's say, or a body ache, which could be anything. You could have worked out and hurt your knee or something like that. And so what is your own standard? What is your own red line? If a patient crosses that, then you tell them go test yourself.
See, if they're vulnerable, age is more than 60, or if they have comorbidities, or they've been in touch with some positive patient, then obviously I would ask them to get tested irrespective of their history. But just for simple headache, otherwise I would not ask for a COVID test. But you have to look at the overall picture, their history, their symptoms, other symptoms, history of contact with positive patients. But you can watch it for a day or two. But if they develop fever or any other symptom for that matter, then maybe you can do some blood tests, or if you strongly suspect COVID, you can do. Again, you cannot waste too much time.
Yeah.
Because this disease doesn't give you too much time. The faster you diagnose it, the better it is for the patient so that you can take the right decision.
Right.
But if the patient has other symptoms like fever ongoing, then you test them for dengue also, you test them for malaria also. So you have to use your judgment. You're not always right, but most of the time you are.
Doesn't get
Can I
easier,
add
does
one
it?
point?
For
Can I add
neither
one
of you
point?
doctors or for
Yeah, can I add a
potential
point?
patients. Dr. Ramesh, I'm so sorry. I'm just completely out of time, but it's a pleasure speaking to both of you and listening into what your words of wisdom are so important. Thanks very much indeed.